Here we go. Maxim Protosov is going to be your referee. And here we go. Magomedov there in the blue gloves. Coming out of the blue corner in the red is Kurbanov. This is round number 1. Right out of the gate, you see it's
Magomedov trying to establish that jab a little bit.
Walking him down a little bit. Of course, 2 big title fights here tonight, which we're very excited about. Obviously, the flyweight championship, that one is vacant. So that's Ovienchi taking on Gadzhiev. That's later on this evening or this morning, wherever you're watching. And then in the main event, it is featherweight action where our featherweight champion, interesting enough, we just saw this with Dubronk's Charles Oliveira. He missed weight in his title fight. He is the champion, so he's going to lose the title. And the challenger made weight, and he could go on and win in our main event. So interesting turn of events here. And it's something we also noticed, Kevin, is anytime that we're seeing a missed weight, I believe they're getting the yellow card, so they're going to lose a point. So
yeah, that's different. That's different for me. It starts a fight in a deficit already. It's going to add a couple stakes to that fight. Kind of interested to see how that'll play out. But
not a whole lot yet. These guys are in a total filling out process. Only about 8 fights between them.
There we go. Magomedov's getting off now. Nice 3-punch combination.
Magomedov coming out of Makhachkala, out of Dagestan. We know what they bring to the table. And he's bringing the heat. Big left hand for Magomedov. He's diving in for the takedown. Kurbanov doing a great job of staying on his feet. Good takedown defense here by Kurbanov.
Yeah, great balance.
And if you're seeing the colors on the screen, that's actually a little bit off because it's Magomedov there in the blue.
Oh, okay. I was confused by that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You got me too.
And it is Kurbanov in the red. So just to give you a little forewarning there, folks, that's just a little bit different. So we'll try to get that fixed there on the graphics.
Make it hard for you, huh? The names are already hard enough. Come on. Cut me a break here, guy.
I feel like I'm like maybe a B+ or something on the Russian names at this point since I've been doing it for so long. But I know you got a little ways to go, Kevin, and I don't blame you. It's not easy. Nice spin kick there by Magomedov as he tees off, trying to get things started. Nobody's really committed to anything yet, Kev. You can tell it's very much a filling out process still. Everybody just a little bit hesitant. Once these guys start letting loose and letting them fly, I think it's going to be a lot different.
You know, but I like that he did that kick earlier into the round, went to the head and missed completely. So this time he spun and went to the body, and it had a little more success with it. So
and if you're keeping an eye on those corner pads, as you can see, Meet by Khabib back in action once again. 2 events in a row representing Khabib's meet here on Eagle FC 49. I'm going to get you a care package soon. I'm going to reach out to Khabib and get you one.
You can keep that one. Oh, guillotine locked up. Guillotine locked up here.
Kurbanov dives in, and Magomedov looked like he had that guillotine.
Nice job by Kurbanov to pull out of that.
Oh, look at that. He's going for that arm bar.
Dangerous off his back.
Good defense by Kurbanov. He's got out of a couple of situations already, but Magomedov, you got to love, Kevin, that he's looking for the finish. This dude is looking to end things early tonight, and that's what we like to see. It's what the fans want to see.
Absolutely. He's very offensive. Here he is spinning for that arm bar again. He's got the leg over the head.
Ooh, this could be a problem. How tight is it?
Yeah, Kurbanov's got to respect this. It looks like the elbow's almost out, and there he goes. He's free now.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are canceling each other out really, really well. And that's the one thing about him. Magomedov looking for a lot of some subs from the bottom, but he's still in a bad position for any sort of ground and pound if Kurbanov can posture up and get something started here.
Yeah, Kurbanov trying to pass that guard. He's having a hard time with it, though. Magomedov's very active from the bottom. He's moving his hips well. He's not really flat. He's making Kurbanov work the whole time on top.
20 seconds left here in round 1. Nice elbow by Kurbanov on top. It's going to be a tough round. You got to love the sub attacks by Magomedov, but Kurbanov on top, landing a few strikes. That makes it really difficult for the judges. Kevin, I'll go to you and your infinite knowledge of this sport, obviously. Who do you think takes that round?
I'm leaning towards Kurbanov. He seemed like he had he was a little more active to start the round, and then finishing on top looks great. But Magomedov didn't just give it to him easy, especially when he was on the bottom. You like to see a guy continuing to be offensive, and we've seen in MMA judging lately, they don't necessarily just give the round to the guy on top. It's a guy who's looking to finish the fight and the guy looking to do damage.
Here's the replay here, as you can see Magomedov
damage that he's done right there with that right hand and then a left hand to follow it. Almost had the takedown. There it is again. It's a good right hand, good timing on it. So I'm just glad I'm not a judge for sure, because that round's a little hard to score.
Yeah, I think that's a it's an objectionable round. It can go either way. It just depends on what you consider the most important thing, because Kurbanov, towards the end of the round, controlled the fight, was on top, able to get a little bit of ground and pound, but Magomedov super aggressive. It's just whatever you're about when it comes to judging.
Almost had that guillotine locked up too. So that's going to make Kurbanov think twice about jumping in and going for a takedown again. That guillotine might have been tight.
Round two. Here we are, folks. Magomedov and Kurbanov. It is Magomedov in the blue wraps coming out of the blue corner, and Kurbanov there in the red. We got a fixture on the graphic. Round number two, live and free on FlexCast.
Okay,
Thank you for joining us, folks.
So now the graphic is correct. Am I right?
That is right.
Okay,
yes,
all right. Magomedov
right.
in the blue, Kurbanov in the red.
They snuck it in there. I got it fixed. Awaiting the arrival of Khabib. He's going to be in the house here, obviously getting a lot of fanfare here in Kyrgyzstan.
Nice body kick.
Hasbulla as well. They've had I've been watching the social media, Kev. They've had 17-course meals. They've had parades. Is
this all for Hasbulla's honor?
I mean, you got to believe that some of it's for Habib, but I mean,
No, it's
but
mostly
Hasbulla brings the heat.
It's mostly for Hasbulla.
We're going for an armbar here.
Be honest here.
Magomedov once again attacking. Kurbanov looks very composed.
He's got great posture, and the elbow looks like it's out. Still having a hard time passing that guard, though. There he is, finally settling into a side control.
Magomedov, I believe at 4-1 in his career, 3-0 for Kurbanov. Both guys, great young fighters, great young prospects here at Eagle FC.
He's sitting Casa Katami, so he's either setting up to try to go to a crucifix, or it looks like a headlock now to get some punches off, but he might get his back taken if he's not careful here. This is a very, it's almost a 50-50 position.
Okay. And he's trying to control that arm.
Yeah, but he might end up getting his back taken. There it is. It's hard to get that position off against a good grappler,
So we really haven't seen Magomedov on top. So we're seeing Magomedov on top now, Kurbanov on his back. We'll see where we go from here and see if Magomedov can get any sort of offense in here and see what his top game looks like. Which, if it's anything like anything from the Dagestani guys, they got good top game. You know what I mean? They can control you, they can direct the fight, and it looks like Magomedov's trying to do exactly that.
Yeah, he's holding control of his hips now, just past the guard, but Magomedov's really fighting hard here.
And back up to his feet, though, Kurbanov has been very good defensively this entire fight. Anything that Magomedov has thrown at him, he's been able to survive. Now he's back on top, and Kurbanov has a chance to score some points here in the eyes of the judges and get something started here on Magomedov. 2 minutes to go. That can definitely swing the fight as far as where the judges are at. Remember, if you're watching, make sure you are on social media on every platform. We're on every platform, Eagle FC, Eagle Fight Club, and make sure you're using hashtag Eagle FC and let everybody know that you're watching this. We talked about it, coffee and MMA, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Kurbanov seems a little more comfortable in these grappling exchanges. He seems a little more fluid moving from position to position. So if I'm Magomedov, I'm trying to get back to my feet for sure and get some more strikes off. He's very explosive on his feet, but from down here, Kurbanov's able to shut down a lot of his attacks.
Oh, there it is.
There he is, going for
another armbar attempt. Kurbanov could be in trouble. Good defense by Kurbanov. Once again, gets out of any sort of danger as Magomedov continues to attack with the subs. I love the aggressiveness of Magomedov, man. So many guys aren't throwing up that many subs in this position. Magomedov's throwing everything at him, and I love it.
Yeah, but if I'm in his corner, I'm telling him use those subs to threaten enough to stand back up. You know, Kurbanov's very aware of what subs he's looking for, so it's going to be hard to finish those. But if you can use them to get a sweep, he'll have a lot more success with that because Kurbanov's chilling on top. He's doing pretty good. He's got great pressure, and he's aware at all times of where his hands are.
Well, the seconds are ticking down here. 10 seconds left here in round 2. Kurbanov on top, but how much damage has he really done? We've talked about this before, Kevin. The judging criteria has changed so much in the last 5 or 6 years. They want to see damage paramount over everything. Positioning doesn't necessarily get you around. With that being said, who takes that round in your eyes?
I think it's another Kurbanov round. It just seemed like he dominated a lot of those grappling positions. So if I'm in Magomedov's corner, I'm telling him, you got to go out there and you got to finish this guy. You got to go after it. Even though we don't know how the judges are scoring it, I still want to put that into his head so he knows he's got to leave it all in the mat this round.
Well, we're taking a look at the replay, and you see some of the strikes that Magomedov landed, but then you see the grappling and the wrestling of Kurbanov. There was the scramble, and Kurbanov ended up on bottom, but he was able to get to his feet, and then he gets his own takedown. And when you have nothing else to go by, when there's not a lot of significant strikes or damage, then you kind of have to go to the wrestling. You have to go to the positioning. And like you said, I think Kurbanov wins the positioning more often than not.
Yeah, neither one of them done much damage in that round. So,
but if you're even in Kurbanov's corner, you can't get comfortable, right? Because you have no idea where it's at.
Right. He's got to go out there and do what he's doing.
So look for both of these guys to finish. Third and final round. This lightweight matchup. It says middleweight, but I believe this is a lightweight matchup here at 70 kilos. So that's 155 pounds.
Oh, beautiful right hand there. He's Magomedov starting off hard. That's what you like to see, you know? You'd like to see a guy go for it in his third.
You know, I think that there is something to be said about the pride of the Dagestani fighter when you have, you know, guys like Khabib running this organization, Rizvan as well. They want to show out. They consider this their backyard wherever they're at because it's Eagle FC. You know what I mean? So the Dagestani guys are always, I think, under a lot of pressure to perform. So I feel like Magomedov right now, he has to kind of pull out all the stops. The last thing he wants is to come out the loser in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to show off here.
Switching stances. I love the stance switch. The scramble, Kurbanov here. Back on top. Well done.
Beautiful job by Kurbanov to secure that takedown. Look for a second that he was going to get reversed. And now he's passing that guard a lot easier.
Well, they're not wasting time at all in this matchup. A lot of action between these two. It has been a battle of wills, back and forth, scrambling. Kurbanov has just maintained more top position overall throughout this entire fight, and that may be what it comes down to at the end of this fight. Is it going to be who controlled the fight more, since there hasn't been a whole lot of damage done? Nobody's been rocked this fight, I don't think, at any point, Kevin. I mean,
No, a couple submission attempts. I think that was the closest, but this type of fight for the guy on top is ideal. Let's be honest here.
Sure.
He's definitely in full control of the fight.
Big, massive double main event still to come, folks, where 2 titles are going to be on the line. We also have 2 heavyweight fights on the card. And if you're anything like Kevin and myself, we love watching the heavyweights get in here and throw down because it is just it's a car crash. You never know what you're going to see. It's bananas.
You can't watch it. You can't look away, but you never know how it's going to go.
That's it. Halfway point here in our 3rd and final round. Still awaiting Khabib and that whole posse to come through here, including Hasbullah.
Kurbanov's doing a great job of just crunching Magomedov. He's not giving him any space. Even when he gets his knees in there, which normally a guy will use that to create more space, he's crunching him, making it very, very uncomfortable for him. This is it's a hard way to get out.
Yeah, Kurbanov has maintained control, but has done enough to stay on top for the better part of the last 2 minutes. Has been able to keep Magomedov on the ground, not allowing him to even throw up submission attempts at this point.
Yeah,
Kurbanov's in full control, but that can change in the matter of seconds. Do not look away as Magomedov is trying everything that he can to set something up.
Yeah, Kurbanov almost looked like he wanted to go back into the guard there to keep that control. Had an opportunity to pass, maybe wasn't the most stable when he was trying to pass to a mount, get some damage off here. So he'd almost rather the control than the damage.
One minute left on the clock as Kurbanov is still on top, still in control. This has been a dominating round here for Kurbanov. Magomedov really hasn't gotten anything off in this round. Still a lot of time to operate.
Yeah, it's really kind of sealed the deal for him, huh? You know, the first 2 rounds could have went one way or the other, but this round you really can't dispute it.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing.
Kurbanov
Even
round.
with this dominant round for Kurbanov, when it comes down to the decision, we're still kind of – we don't know which way we're going to go here. The very famous bald guy in the sport says never leave it to the judges, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that guy. You know that guy pretty well.
I've heard of him as well.
And the seconds tick down. Kurbanov feeding off of the crowd, and this is where we are going to leave it. 3 full rounds in the books, and these 2 men came to fight. Nobody was able to really land that hard shot. We saw some submission attempts from Magomedov. That's going to be the story for him. Is that enough? Are the judges going to see that as enough to give him, potentially 2 rounds in the beginning of the fight? I think it's going to be a stretch.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Kurbanov, I think, has this at least
a great job.
Yeah.
And for a guy that's 3-0, he's putting in the time in the cage. So that's going to pay dividends as he gets later and later into his career. He can go back and look at this fight and see some positions that he could have passed, maybe get to a spot where he can really lay down some damage, because you're going to need that as you keep going up and up in these ranks.
It all comes down to the mouth guard, right, Kev? I mean, we said it early on.
Yeah. See, some of these early signs, they point you in the right direction.
Is that what's going to go down here as we await the decision?
You should definitely
Most
go get
likely,
a custom mouth guard, man.
Yeah, you got
Get it out the plastic bag. It's just if I'm in the back room and I see that, he took his mouth guard out the plastic bag. Oh, we up today. I'm gonna beat his ass.
Eagle FC 49, first fight of the night, folks. And we'll go to Alexander Zagorski for the decision. And Kurbanov gets the win as expected. Great composure the entire fight, Kevin. Man, he just hung it right in there. He fought all those submission attempts, and he always came out on top.
Yeah, it's a great fight from him. You see some of these takedowns here. This one is a great scramble to come up on top. But it really was the takedowns that kind of sealed the deal for him. And he had some positions where he maybe could have passed and got to a full mount. There you'll seeing him try, but he's a little unstable there, so he goes back into the guard to keep the control. He did what he needed to do for the win, and he has some space and some room to grow. And at 3-0, that's all you can really hope for.
Well, now 4-0. 4-0 for Kurbanov as he stays undefeated. Magomedov, to his credit, man, he wouldn't allow him to get into that full mount. And very, very tricky on the bottom, threw up a lot of subs.